30-foot sandstone pillar in Minnesota and a 300-foot granite monolith in North Carolina. What name, also given to a huge Nebraska formation, sounds like it should be attached to a fireplace? Time is up. Chimney Rock is what we were looking for. Give the two-word literary phrase for an unrhymed poem written in iambic pentameter. Time is up. Blank verse. Question 23. Pencils and paper ready. Consider the ellipse x squared over 16 plus y squared over 49 equals 1. Give the two ordered pairs, one at each end, that form the ellipse's vertical axes. Time is up to ring in. 0, 7 and 0 minus 7 is what we were looking for. Question 24. Which Southwest state contains all or part of the Indian reservations called Acoma Pueblo? Colin Kane, Elmira.
Arizona.
Incorrect. For Towanda. Which Southwest state contains all or part of the Indian reservations called Acoma Pueblo? Mescalero, Taos Pueblo, and Zuni. Grady Templeton, Towanda.
New Mexico.
New Mexico is correct. Towanda's in the lead now, 50-10 over Elmira. Question number 25. As a teenager, this artist became known for his portraits of Madonnas. After 6 years as a painter in Rome, this man, known for his history paintings, became the architect of St. Peter's Cathedral. Name this Italian artist, famed for his works like the School of Athens. Time is up. Raphael, so we were looking for there. Question 26. As a teenager, American writer Jack London owned a small boat that he used to catch what sea creature with pearl-making capabilities? Milo Miller, Elmira.
Oysters.
Oyster is correct. At nearly 80 years old, this singer has a 2021 album called Release Me 2 that contains a previously unreleased duet with Barry Gibb, who sang several songs on her past album Guilty. Name this American singer who starred on Broadway in Funny Girl. Time is up. That question was for our audience, not for our students. The answer is Barbra Streisand. 28. Boils, impetigo, and the deadly MRSA that is resistant to methicillin are among the possible results of this type of bacteria if this type of bacteria gets on your skin. Name this type of bacteria, usually treated with antibiotics, that is often contrasted with streptococcus. Staphylococcus. Question number 29. 2 questions left here. It's 50-30. Towanda in the lead. On a Monday in June, this war began with the destruction of the Egyptian Air Force. On the next Sunday, Syria agreed to a ceasefire after Israel had taken the Sinai Peninsula. Colin Kane, Elmira.
Israeli-Egyptian war.
Incorrect. For Towanda. On a Monday in June, this war began with the destruction of the Egyptian Air Force. On the next Sunday, Syria agreed to a ceasefire after Israel had taken the Sinai Peninsula, the Golan Heights, and the West Bank. Identify this 1967 war, named because it lasted less than a week. Nate Spencer, Towanda.
6 Day.
6-Day War is correct. Question number 30. Known for both his literary and his artistic talent, he brought those skills together in his work called Jerusalem. Name this British Romantic poet of the late 1700s who wrote the poem collection Songs of Innocence and of Experience. That was harder than the Streisand question. William Blake is the answer we were looking for there. That brings us to the end of the third round. Towanda wins it. 70 points over Elmira, 20. Stay seated on the stage, please. Before we let our friends here from Elmira go, and remember we do have check presentations to do at the end of the broadcast today, so we ask that they stay with us here at the Sayre Theater. Want to run down the line real quick and chat with team captain Milo Miller and see what your thoughts are here on Scholarship Challenge Finals today.
The questions were a lot harder than what I was expecting, but I'm glad.
Us too.
Yeah. I'm glad we got to come here and participate.
Fourth place is pretty good out of 22 teams, I think, don't you?
Yeah.
Colin Kane, what'd you think?
Oh, it's really hard. Tried my best. We worked hard, and I'm glad of what we did.
Absolutely. You guys had a lot of give and go back and forth here with the score, especially the first couple of rounds. Aiden Scott?
Still try not to have an anxiety attack.
It can be a little stressful up here, but it's fun. Don't forget that part, Aiden. Joe Chilson Purvis, your first time up here for Scholarship Challenge, threw you right into the finals. What'd you think?
It's hard. The questions are hard.
It's hard. These are very hard questions. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys from Elmira Express, Milo Miller, Colin Kane, Aiden Scott, Joe Chilson Purvis for being here, and of course to their advisor, Peter Manuel Pillay, and filling in for him today, Charlie Wilson. Appreciate you guys being here. Your principal, Chris Rieger, and Superintendent Hillary Austin. Don't go anywhere. We'll have you join us back here in the seats. We'll have you guys here from Towanda get off the stage, take a break, get some shade, and then when we come back, we'll have up on stage Wyatt Lusing and Spencer Van Etten here at the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge Finals, live from the Sayre Theater. Welcome back to the Sayre Theater for the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge, live on your Radigan media stations. The flagship station, of course, of Scholarship Challenge is Choice 102, joined in simulcast with Liberty 960, as well as WEBO in Owego and Binghamton. And as we announced at the beginning of the broadcast, 95.3 The Bridge, WTTC-AM and FM, two radio stations that used to be sister stations with WATS, WAVR. Then they sold back in 2005, and then we just bought them back again. So I guess we just keep trading the stations back and forth. But nice to have all these stations joining in on our broadcast today, and all these students as well. Joining us up on stage are the Spencer Van Etten Panthers and the Wyalusing Rams. And before we get underway with these two teams in our finals today, we want to get to know them once again. In case you've missed their introductions in previous broadcasts, we're going to begin on my left with Bella Young, the team captain from Spencer Van Etten.
I'm a senior at Spencer Van Etten, and I am president of Student Council, National Honor Society, and Students Against Destructive Decisions. I am vice president of Key Club, and I participate in track and field hockey.
Very good. Thank you, Bella, for being here. It's nice to have you back. Tim Goodrich to her left.
I'm Tim Goodrich, a senior at Spencer Van Etten. I'm a member of Key Club, and I'm doing track and field this year.
Very good. Thank you, Tim. And to Tim's left is Olivia Devlin.
Hi, I'm Olivia Devlin. I'm also a senior at SVE. I participate in field hockey, track, Student Council, National Honor Society, and I'm also the president of Key Club.
Excellent. Thank you, Olivia. And to the far stage left, Andrew Lau. Welcome back.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lau. I'm a senior at Spencer Van Etten. In my free time, I enjoy reading fantasy books.
Excellent. Thank you, Andrew. And also from Spencer Van Etten today, alternates Nathan Gillette and Cameron Smith. Maggie Childs, former teacher and supporter of the SVE School District, is in attendance in the audience here today. We thank her for attending. Also, a special thanks to the SVE advisor for Scholarship Challenge, Annie McGee, principal Missy Jewell, all from Spencer Van Etten, home of the Panthers. Thank you, guys, and welcome back to the stage here at Scholarship Challenge. To my right, the Wyalusing Rams. We begin with an introduction from team captain Aaron Saltzman. Welcome back.
Yes, hello, my name is Erin Salzman. I'm a junior at Wyalusing. I'm a part of many different clubs that our school offers, including but not limited to Yearbook, FBLA, Student Council, National Honor Society, and Dungeons & Dragons Club.
Excellent. Thank you, Erin. London Edwards to our right.
Hi, I'm London Edwards. I participate in FBLA, Yearbook, Leo Club, the Junior Class Board, and I'm a member of NHS, the volleyball team, and the softball team.
Excellent. Thank you, London. And to the right, Ethan Lewis.
Hi, I'm Ethan Lewis. I'm a junior at Wyalusing and currently involved in FBLA, track, cross country, National Honor Society, early morning jazz, yearbook, and I'm student council president.
Thank you, Ethan. And to our far stage right today from the Wyalusing Rams is Layla Botts.
Hi, I'm Layla Botts. I'm a junior at WHS, and I'm on the soccer, basketball, and track teams. I'm a junior class officer, Leo Club president, and member of NHS Student Council and FBLA.
Excellent. Thank you, Layla. Also from the Wyalusing Rams here today, advisor Nick Marbaker. Our thanks to Wyalusing High School Principal Gary Otis and Superintendent of Schools Dr. Jason Badagliari from the Wyalusing Rams. Thank you guys for being here. The Wyalusing Rams are previous winners of Scholarship Challenge in 1989 and 2020. That was the year we had a four-way COVID tie when these finals were canceled the day before and everything went into lockdown for the better part of the last 2 years. And Spencer Van Etten, previous winners of Scholarship Challenge in 2005 and 2009. Welcome back to the stage here at the Sayre Theater. It's the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge. It's 30 questions between these two here, beginning with round one. 10-point questions, and here we go with number one. Name the U.S. state that contains the Willamette National Forest in the Cascade Mountains. Tim Goodrich, Spencer Van Etten.
Washington.
That is incorrect. For the Wyalusing Rams, name the U.S. state that contains the Willamette National Forest in the Cascade Mountains. Time is up on that one. We're looking for Oregon. Question number two. It is calculated by averaging the x-coordinates of two ends of a line segment and then averaging their y-coordinates. Identify this math location that divides Ethan Lewis, Wyalusing.
Midpoint.
Midpoint is correct. Question number 3. Cubism co-developer Jorge Brock painted a bowl of what fruit just before they turned into raisins? Tim Goodrich, Spencer Van Etten.
Grapes.
Grapes is correct. It was invited to join in the Articles of Confederation, but decided not to. Name this Canadian province with a large percentage of French speakers. Ethan Lewis, Wyalusing.
Quebec.
Quebec is correct. Pencils made with what substance instead of graphite are created to minimize how much black ends up on your hand after drawing with it? Charcoal is the answer we were looking for. Question 6, between the Wyalusing Rams and Spencer Van Etten Panthers. Named for the profession that most uses it, what type of hammer is designed to help shape steel on an anvil? That's a blacksmith's hammer. Question number 7. After 25 years of retirement, he has gone back to work somewhat using a digital tablet. Name this cartoonist whose new one-panel strips still feature old ladies, ducks, cows, and cavemen, just as his old one-panel strip called The Far Side used to. Gary Larson. Question number 8. What word, starting with T, describes a smaller river that runs into... Ethan Lewis, Wyalusing.
Tribulate. Tribulate.
Incorrect. What word, for Spencer Van Etten, what word, starting with T, describes a smaller river that runs into and joins a larger river? Andrew Lau, Spencer.
Tributary.
Tributary is correct. This dynasty ended in 1603 with the death of Elizabeth I, who was succeeded by the Stuart ruler Tim Goodrich, Spencer Van Etten.
Tudor.
Tudor is correct. Jane Austen's novel Sense and Sensibility begins, the family, with what last name shared by the two sisters, had long been settled in Sussex. The Dashwood family. At the end of round 1, 10 questions in the book. Spencer Van Etten in the lead over Wyalusing with a score of 20-10. A bunch more questions when we come back here on the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge Finals. Welcome back. 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge Finals. Last day here at the Sayre Theater, and a big thank you to the Bradford County Regional Arts Council for hosting us for these 3 Saturdays here in the month of March. Double sessions. The first 2, kind of a easy day today with just 1 session, but nothing's ever easy with Scholarship Challenge. It's always a challenge for our production staff just as much as it is the students, just in a completely different way. So great to have lots of experience on board with Scholarship Challenge today. And we thank you for joining us here in the Sayre Theater, as well as tuning in to all the different radio stations running this broadcast today. We're going into round 2 in just a moment between Wyalusing and Spencer Van Etten, but first we want to stop and check in with Ethan Lewis from the Wyalusing Rams, who's going to tell us more about the Wyalusing School District.
Thank you. There are many things that can be said about Wyalusing Valley High School, or WVHS as we like to call it. Wyalusing is the home of the Rams in the green and gold. Our team takes part in the many extracurricular programs offered at our high school. We are involved in several other sports and clubs, and this is translated into a competitive spirit in our academic pursuits. As the motto says, we love the power of thought and the magic of the mind, embodied by this competition that has been a mainstay of our local academic community for several years. Thank you Choice 102 and Sayre Theater for continuing this tradition, and thank you for inviting WVHS to participate today. We wish all schools competing in this tournament the best of luck.
Very nice. Thank you, Ethan. And you guys have certainly earned your way here. All right, on to the second round now between Wyalusing and Spencer Van Etten. 10 more questions worth 10 points apiece. The current score, 20-10. Spencer Van Etten in the lead over Wyalusing. The Kalahari Desert takes up over half of what African country's area whose Orapa mine is the world's largest diamond mine? Tim Goodrich, Spencer Van Etten.
Namibia.
Say that again, please.
Namibia.
That is incorrect. For Wyalusing, the Kalahari Desert takes up over half of what African country's area whose Orapa mine is the world's largest diamond mine? Time's up for Wyalusing on that, and the answer we're looking for is Botswana. Question number 12. Spell the word for deliberately cutting down all the trees in a wilderness area. Spell deforestation. Tim Goodrich, Spencer Van Etten.
Deforestation.
That is correct. Identify the calculus method of approximating definite integrals, usually taught near the same time as the trapezoid rule and named for an 18th century British mathematician. Simpson's rule. Question number 14 between Wyalusing and Spencer Van Etten. When this substance was mined in Canada in the 1870s, a nearby town called itself by that name. But now that this substance is linked to mesothelioma, Ethan Lewis, Wyalusing Rams.
Asbestos.
Asbestos is the answer we were getting towards, yes. Question number 15. Give the music term for the male voice between a tenor and a bass. Ethan Lewis, Wyalusing.
Baritone.
Baritone is correct. Wyalusing just took the lead 30-20 with Spencer Van Etten. Question number 16. In Mark Twain's nonfiction book, Following the Equator, he told of visiting what country on November 5th and learning about the horse races that comprise the Melbourne Cup? Aaron Saltzman, Wyalusing.
Australia.
Australia is correct. This man was helping to defend a car dealership business from rioters in 2020 when he got into a situation that ended with 2 men dead and a 3rd man wounded. Tim Goodrich, Spencer Van Etten.
Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse is correct. The alpha type of this protein is found in sheep wool and human fingernails, while the harder beta version is found in bird claws and horse hooves. Name this hard material often used by animals to help cover themselves. time is up. Keratin is what we were looking for there. Question number 19. In 1918, the country of Serbia was folded into the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes that changed its name to what in 1929? Tim Goodrich. Spencer.
Yugoslavia.
Yugoslavia is correct. Score is tied now between Wyalusing and Spencer Van Etten, 40 all. Last question in the second round worth 10 points. This letter gives us the phrase, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. Identify this New Testament epistle, the third one after 2 Corinthians, that was written to the first Christian branch in Europe, in an area of present-day Greece where Paul visited 3 times. Philippians. That brings us to the end of round 2 between Wyalusing and Spencer Van Etten. Score is tied, 40 each. We'll come back with round 3, 20-point questions, 10 of them to go on the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge Finals. It's the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge Finals. We have on stage with us Wyalusing and Spencer Van Etten. The score is tied at 40 all. We learned a little bit more about the Wyalusing Rams when we began the last round, and before we go into the next round, we want to learn a little about Spencer Van Etten. So, with Spencer Van Etten school bio is Bella Young.
The Spencer Van Etten School District is centrally located between Waverly, Elmira, Owego, and Ithaca. We are a small, close-knit district that offers numerous opportunities for students to excel. We presently offer college credit courses in government, economics, calculus, Spanish, music theory, biology, physics, and offer AP courses in American history, English, and chemistry. Other programs of particular note are the Key Club, Ski Club, the Sportsman's Club, an agriculture program, and the Early Degree program through Tompkins-Cortland Community College. We are particularly proud of our exceptionally high graduation rate. We have an active student council that promotes student involvement through participation in the decision-making process. Our sports programs have demonstrated success inside and outside the classrooms, with many of our sports teams finding recent success. Our girls basketball teams recently won IAC division championships at the varsity and junior varsity levels. Our football team won the New York State Regional Championship in 8-man football this past fall. Our music program has given us numerous area all-state performers, including many participants in the All-County Music Festival and NISMA Solo Festival. Tonight is the last performance of our spring musical, Grease. We would like to thank WATS Radio and the opportunity to compete again this year and wish the other schools good luck in the scholarship challenge.
Thank you, Bella, team captain from Spencer Van Etten. Earlier in the broadcast, you heard Towanda and Elmira compete against one another, and Towanda coming out ahead in that competition. We're heading into round 3 right now between Wyalusing and Spencer Van Etten. The score is tied 40-40, so it's anybody's game, but coming out of round 3, whoever wins this match will face off against Towanda to become the Scholarship Challenge champion for this year. So lots of excitement ahead here in just the next few minutes. Thank you for tuning in and joining us here live in person at the Sayre Theater. Let's get into round 3, shall we? Named in the mid-1800s, this land area includes western Utah, southeastern Oregon, and eastern California. Give the 2-word term for this huge western land area whose bodies of water don't drain into any ocean or gulf. Time is up. Great Basin. The 32 letters in this language's alphabet include an A and an E with a cedilla under them, a Z with a dot over it, and an L with a slash through it. Tim Goodrich, Spencer Van Etten.
Polish.
Polish is correct. Pencils and paper ready. Find the area of a triangle in square units. If the triangle's vertices are 5, 11, minus 3, 11, and minus 3, 23. Time is up. We're looking for 48 square units. Spencer Van Etten's in the lead over Wyalusing, 60-40, 20-point questions. When he shared the Nobel Peace Prize in 1973 for his work to help end the Vietnam War, 2 members of the committee resigned in protest, even though he donated the prize money to charity. Name this German-born diplomat and Secretary of State under Richard Nixon. Tim Goodrich, Spencer Van Etten.
Kissinger.
Kissinger is correct. Which NBA team includes star forward Jeremy Grant? Finally, a short question there. No answer. Detroit or Pistons would have been acceptable there. Question number 26 between Wyalusing Rams and Spencer Van Etten. The score is 80-40. Spencer in the lead. What Toni Morrison novel, whose one-word title is a genre of music, tells of Joe and Violette, who come to New York City's Harlem area from Virginia? The novel is called Jazz. Question 27. From May 2020 to May 2021, this indicator had the largest annual increase in 30 years, without including food or energy costs. Give the 3-word economic term or its acronym for this quantity calculated by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics that estimates how much things cost. That would be the Consumer Price Index, or CPI. Question 28. What principle, named for German physicist Wolfgang Pauli, says that the 2 electrons, Ethan Lewis, Wyalusing.
Pauli exclusion principle.
That is absolutely correct. Good job. 80-60. Spencer's in the lead. 2 questions left, 20 points apiece. The 2021 exhibition at Russia's Hermitage Museum of Works by Danish sculptor Bertel Thorvaldsen, famed for his sculpture of Christ, includes a marble statue of what boy who, in Greek myth, was the cup-bearer to the gods? Time is up. Ganymede. Last question between the two. Though the Messiah composer, Handel himself, was German and lived most of his life in England, he first became popular as a composer by creating operas in what European style? At the buzzer, Wyalusing's Ethan Lewis rang in.
Sonata.
That is incorrect. That question needs to be repeated, thank you, for the benefit of Spencer Van Etten. Though the Messiah composer, Handel himself, was German and lived most of his life in England, he first became popular as a composer by creating operas in what European style? Time is up, and the answer we're looking for was Italian opera. That brings us to the end of round 3 between Spencer Van Etten and Wyalusing. 80 points for Spencer, 50 for Wyalusing. Spencer Van Etten is going to go into the finals. Congratulations to Wyalusing for coming in 3rd place here today. That was a very close one. You guys kept us all on our toes there. Before we end this segment here, I want to go down the line in Wyalusing and check in first with team captain Aaron Saltzman for your thoughts on Scholarship Challenge today.
It was pretty good. Questions were pretty challenging, and I'm glad to have gotten at least one question correct.
Doing better than me. Right? Yeah. London Edwards, your thoughts on Scholarship Challenge?
I'm just proud that we got this far, but I do agree that the questions were much harder than last time.
No one's going to disagree with you there. These are very difficult questions. That's absolutely true. Ethan Lewis, what'd you think?
I'm happy to be here. I'm kind of mad I got that last one wrong because I studied operas on the car ride here. But that's okay. I'm glad I was here.
We're glad you're here as well. Layla Botts, what'd you think?
I just thought the questions are really hard.
They're really hard. They are really hard questions here, especially this year. We've seen some really tough ones. Wyalusing Rams with a very respectable 50 points against Spencer Van Etten, 80 points in the end, and these were 20-point questions. You guys did a great job. So if I am correct, that puts the Wyalusing Rams in 3rd place today, which sends them home with a check for the amount of $500. So that's awesome. I want you guys to stick around. You can't go now. I mean, we got to figure out how this whole thing ends. We're going to take a break. When we come back here on the stage, we will have Spencer Van Etten and Towanda join us for the final round of the Scholarship Challenge Finals here from the Sayre Theater. Welcome back to the Sayre Theater, live on stage today as we present to you the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge Finals. 22 teams from 20 area school districts competed this year, almost back up to our pre-COVID pandemic level of teams where historically this competition has been amongst 24 teams. We had 22. That's pretty good. Last year we were at 16, so we're continuing to climb back up just a little bit. Coming up here in a moment, the first and second place teams. We're not sure who's first and who's second, but we'll find out soon. It's either going to be Towanda or Wyalusing here on stage for the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge. Before we get, what did I do? Spencer Van Etten. Oh, I can't read these. I don't know what I'm doing here. Spencer Van Etten and Wyalusing. Boy, it just keeps getting worse, right? I feel like Letterman now. His people are going to call my people with a cease and desist. All right, here's where I'm trying to go with all of this embarrassment for me, is that every year as part of Scholarship Challenge, Guthrie offers up a $1,000 scholarship. And it's sort of a side to the Scholarship Challenge itself. And this year, the essay came with this prompt, we call it. How has someone with a different life experience than you changed your personal views? And we are very pleased to have with us on stage the winner of this year's Guthrie Scholarship from the Newark Valley School District, Newark Valley High School, Piper Davis. Welcome to the stage. Piper's essay was chosen by the folks over at Guthrie and selected as the winner. And to join us here on stage to read her essay for us is Piper. Go ahead.
Don't judge a book by its cover. A simple phrase we have all heard many times in our lives. One I, for many years, failed to follow. Growing up in a small town, I was raised looking at the world through a fog-filled lenses of a racially, religiously, and culturally non-diverse community. I had through my childhood unknowingly developed the mindset that normal meant being straight, white, and Christian, and anything outside of that normal was inherently wrong and subsequently dangerous. It wasn't until I started selling Girl Scout cookies that I realized just how incorrect and ignorant my worldview was. I participated in my first cookie booth at the age of 6. My mom had me standing in the front of the table holding a sign. Customers would come up and tell my mom that they wanted what they wanted, and my mom would have me grab the brightly colored boxes and hand it to them. Before those booths, I had very little exposure to people of different colors, so I made assumptions based off what I had seen on TV. But by making assumptions, I only helped to feed the fires of ignorance and fear that festered deep within me. Then, when I was 8, a black man came up to my booths with a stern expression, only for it to melt into a gleeful grin. He was one of the nicest people I have ever met. He asked me what my favorite cookie was. When I sheepishly told him, he bought a box. I plucked the vibrant yellow package from the table and passed it to the man, only for him to hand it back to me with a smile. I was confused. Why was this man handing me his cookies? They're for you, kid, he chuckled at my confused expression. I can't eat them, I'm diabetic. That simple gesture caused me to question all I previously assumed of people. It sparked in me the desire to learn more, to stop judging books by their covers. Cookie sales have helped me realize behind the covers everybody has a story that needs to be told, from the tired taxi driver pulling up for a box of Savannah Smiles to the overworked businessman purchasing a case for his kids back home. I learned compassion from the Cornell students who sacrificed an hour of his day to help 3 goofy brownies sell cookies at a bus stop. I was taught empathy through college kids needing a younger sister to laugh with, if only for a minute or two. And I absorbed respect from the hundreds of stories veterans have told me of their struggles. Now, 13,000 boxes of cookies later, I truly understand the consequences of judging a book by its cover.
Piper Davis, great job. Winner of this year's Guthrie Scholarship for $1,000. Thank you for joining us here today. Congratulations. All right, it is the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge. We're live at the Sayre Theater. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll get underway with the final competition between these two teams here at the Sayre Theater.
Toyota. Here are your hosts, Dave and Irene Radigan.
Back up on the Sayre Theater stage here, where it is 110 degrees up here. So it's like, there's at least a 10-degree difference, these guys have told me, from here to there. It's pretty warm up here. But we welcome back to the stage two teams that have already gone through one round apiece this morning. Spencer Van Etten, who defeated Wyalusing, and Towanda, who defeated Elmira a little bit earlier in this broadcast. Now we have Towanda and Spencer back up on stage to go up against one another to determine who will be first place and win that beautiful Kwasniewski Cup and who will come in a close second. Scholarship Challenge awards $7,000 worth of prize money to the area school districts that participate in this broadcast. There are 22 teams, 20 districts, and 8 prizes awarded. 5th through 8th place each win $350 apiece. 3rd and 4th place win $500 apiece. 2nd place will win a $1,500 prize, and 1st place prize of $3,000 along with the Kwasniewski Cup bragging rights for the next year until we reconvene for Scholarship Challenge number 43. Towanda, are you ready? Spencer Van Etten, are you ready? Audience, are you ready? Look at all that popcorn out there. Nice touch being at the Sayre Theater with concessions open. We thank them for hosting us for Scholarship Challenge for our 2nd year in a row. Question number 1 between Towanda and Spencer Van Etten. Mao Zedong proclaimed the founding of the People's Republic of China in this square in 1949. Local travel agencies don't mention the pro-democracy protests there. Nate Spencer, Towanda.
Tiananmen Square?
Tiananmen is correct. The word pulchritude, from the Latin for beautiful, is spelled correctly by Aquila at the end of the movie Aquila and the Bee. You too can be a National Spelling Bee co-champion on film if you can spell pulchritude. Time is up on that one with no takers. I can spell it because it's on this page in front of me. Pulchritude. Thank you. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. It's always nice having your parents in the audience. Pencils and paper ready. In slope-intercept form, give the equation for the line containing the points 2, 2 and 7, minus 13. No takers on that one either. 5 seconds to ring in, 10 to give us the answer. The answer we're looking for is y equals minus 3x plus 8. Would have taken me an hour and a half to figure that out by myself. Question number 4. In 1864, he ran for president against Abraham Lincoln, the man who fired him after the Battle of Antietam, even though he won. Of what Union officer did Lincoln say, if this general does not want to use the army? I, Grady Templeton, Towanda.
McPherson?
Incorrect. We'll read this one again for Spencer Van Etten. In 1864, he ran for president against Abraham Lincoln, the man who fired him after the Battle of Antietam, even though he won. Of what Union officer did Lincoln say, if this general does not want to use the army, I would like to borrow it for a time? George McClellan is the answer. Score 0-0 between Towanda and Spencer Van Etten. I haven't gotten him to try and answer one yet here exactly. Well, we did get the first one correct, didn't we? Is that correct on there? Right, got it. Okay. Just making sure. All right. When the Summer Olympics were first held in this city, Joe Frazier won the gold medal in heavyweight boxing, and South Africa was first banned for its apartheid policies? Name this Asian capital whose second Summer Olympics were held in 2021. Nate Spencer, Towanda.
Tokyo.
Yes, sir. Edith Wharton's novels, The Age of Innocence and The House of Mirth, are set in what U.S. city? Time is up. New York City. Question 7 between Towanda and Spencer. What business that calls itself the leader in modern enterprise video communications with an easy, reliable cloud platform to hold online meetings and webinars became incredibly popular during Grady Templeton, Towanda?
Zoom.
Zoom. And pandemic was the last word I was about to spit out there. Question number 8. People who have a fast one of these are often very thin, very fidgety. Spencer Van Etten, Bella Young.
Metabolism.
Metabolism is correct. Not guilty. What American artist, you like that one? What American artist made a set of 4 related watercolors before creating his oil painting called The Gulf Stream? No takers on that. Winslow Homer. Question number 10 between Towanda and Spencer. The number 1 spender on political lobbying in 2021 was what business group that represents many local business groups across the country? That would be the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. At the end of round 1 between Towanda and Spencer, Towanda is in the lead, 20 points to Spencer's 10. We'll come back with 10 more 10-point questions on the Scholarship Challenge.
Scholarship Challenge on Choice 102, presented by Williams Toyota on WATS, WAVR, WEBO.
Yeah, should be. Welcome back to Scholarship Challenge, where the score is 20-10. Towanda's in the lead over Spencer Van Etten. We've got 20 questions scheduled left between these two to determine who the winners will be. I previously mentioned that Spencer Van Etten was Scholarship Challenge champion in 2005 and 2009. Towanda, champions of Scholarship Challenge back in 1984, 1988, and 1991. Any of you born in 1991? No, that wouldn't be possible. You'd be aged out of Scholarship Challenge by a little bit there. All right, second round. Here we go. 10 questions, 10 points apiece between Towanda and Spencer. This city once served as its state capital. Its downtown area was planned out by James Oglethorpe. Name this oldest city in Georgia. Grady Templeton, Towanda.
Savannah.
That is correct. Good job, Grady. The Chinese, Japanese, and Russian languages do not use this type of word in their grammar. Give the grammatical term for this type of modifier whose indefinite examples in English include a and an, and whose definite examples include the. Article. Give the volume of a rectangular prism 3 inches by 6 inches by 9 inches. Andrew Lau, Spencer Van Etten, Panthers.
$144.
Incorrect. For Towanda Black Knights, repeating the question, give the volume of a rectangular prism 3 inches by 6 inches by 9 inches. Nate Spencer, Towanda.
162.
162 cubic inches is correct. Towanda in the lead, 40 to Spencer Van Etten with naught. The FDIC, created during the New Deal, guarantees that most people won't lose their money in a bank if the bank goes bankrupt and closes. What does FDIC stand for? Nate Spencer, Towanda.
Federal Deposit Insurance.
I need a more complete answer.
Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation.
That is correct. You guys like watching us sweat, don't you? Question 15. Narrated by the Greek god Hermes, this musical includes the 3 fates: the goddess Persephone as an alcoholic, and songs like Our Lady of the Underground. Name this Tony Award-winning Best Musical. Nate Spencer, Towanda.
Hadestown.
That's correct. Played on screen by Hattie McDaniel, who won an Oscar for the role, what black servant character was devoted to her last drop of blood to the O'Haras in the classic novel Gone with the Wind? Time is up. Mammy is the character. 17. This series is based on a book called 12 Patients, Life and Death at Bellevue Hospital, the 12th of which is the book's author, Dr. Eric Mannheimer. Identify this NBC television series about Max Goodwin and the New York City Hospital where he is a medical director. New Amsterdam. New LED light bulbs often operate at a value of several thousand on this scale, named for a British physicist. Bella Young, Spencer Van Etten.
Watts.
Incorrect. Towanda. New LED light bulbs often operate at a value of several thousand on this scale, named for a British physicist. Spencer, Towanda.
Ohms.
Also incorrect. The rest of that question is, identify this temperature scale used in chemistry calculations where a reading of 300 corresponds to about 27 degrees Celsius. The answer we were looking for, Kelvin. Question number 19, between Towanda and Spencer Van Etten. The score is 50 for Towanda and minus 10 for Spencer Van Etten in round 2. Escaped slaves who reached Canada on America's Underground Railroad in the late 1800s often settled in what eastern Canadian province whose capital is Halifax? Grady Templeton, Towanda.
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia is correct. Last question of the second round. A young tempter in this book regularly receives advice from the book's title character, a bureaucrat in the lowerarchy of hell. Identify this book by C.S. Lewis, whose title, Devil, writes a series of epistles to his nephew, the young devil named Wormwood. Time is up. The answer, Screw Tape Letters. That brings us to the end of the second round between Towanda and Spencer Van Etten in the absolute finals here of Scholarship Challenge. We've got one round left where the questions are worth 20 points apiece. The current score is 60 to minus 10. Anything still possible here between Towanda and Spencer Van Etten on the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge, live at the Sayre Theater. Thanks for tuning in and joining us back here at the Sayre Theater, where this is coming to you live on 10 radio stations across the Twin Tiers. And joining us up on stage, in addition to the Towanda Black Knights and Spencer Van Etten Panthers, who are approaching round 3 of this competition, is PA State Representative from the 110th District in Bradford County, Tina Pickett, who joins us up on stage here this afternoon. It's a pleasure to have you here. If you'd like to say a few words and maybe let us know a little bit about what's going on in the district these days.
Don't forget that's also Bradford, Sullivan, Susquehanna County, and I know you've had some of those schools here. And shortly I'll be also representing Wyoming County, so I cover a lot of territory. But aren't these students amazing? All of them. I cannot tell you how much I enjoy sitting in the audience here and watching the students, every single one of them. They're all champions and heroes, and I just think that they always show us the results and the value of our educational system. When I work in Harrisburg, a lot of the times the discussion is about our schools. The discussion is about funding our schools. It's about the opportunities that we want to see in our schools. And when I come here, I get to see how that money has been spent and how it is benefiting these young people. So I enjoy it immensely. I really do. This is budget time in Harrisburg, so we are putting together those numbers that include a lot of the funding for our schools. It's always a discussion on exactly how that happens. And of course, I represent a rural area, so we have to watch out very carefully to make sure that our rural schools are receiving a proper amount of that funding to be able to offer all of these different amenities. I hear each student, when they talk about their school districts, they talk about the different amenities and opportunities there are in their districts, and it's very exciting to me to know that they have so many choices and so many things that they can do. So again, I'm just really excited to be here today. Thank you.
We're excited to have you here. Thank you, Tina Pickett, 110th District here in Pennsylvania. The Kwasnowskis regret that they could not be here today. The Kwasnowski Cup is named after their son, and they are usually here for every single scholarship challenge, and they were here for both of the qualifying rounds this year. They're traveling this week, visiting one of their sons out on the West Coast, I think, in California. So we will put Ms. Pickett to work here this afternoon, awarding the beautiful Kwasnowski Cup this afternoon in just a few minutes. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, it is the third round of Scholarship Challenge. Let's set it up again for you here. We have the Towanda Black Knights up on stage with the Spencer Van Etten Panthers. Grady Templeton is the team captain for Towanda. Dejan Idigoyen, Nate Spencer, Ryan O'Connor, all from Towanda. And from Spencer, it's Bella Young, the team captain, alongside Tim Goodrich, Olivia Devlin, and Andrew Lau, answering a lot of tough questions here this afternoon. The score is 60 to -10. That's a 70-point difference. I've got 10 questions worth 20 points apiece, so let's see what happens. Round 3, here we go. K2, the second highest mountain in the world behind Mount Everest, is in what Asian range that starts with a K? Grady Templeton, Towanda.
Korean.
Incorrect. For the benefit of Spencer Van Etten. K2, the second highest mountain in the world behind Mount Everest, is in what Asian range that starts with a K? Time is up. Karakoram Mountains. Which type of pasta has a name that means tongues in Italian? Stumped everyone on that one. Linguine is the answer. Did you know that?
I actually did.
Irene is fluent in Italian. Question number 23. A ball is lying still on a table. If the ball were slid along the table, and frictional force created would be the product of the normal force and a coefficient of friction represented by what Greek letter? Tim Goodrich, Spencer Van Etten.
Mu.
Mu is correct. Give the French term for ballet for a long piece of, did I say that correctly? Give the French term from ballet for a long piece of wood along the walls of a dance room that dancers use to both warm up and practice with. It's a bar. It's like 120 degrees up here now. What science fiction writer's new U.S. stamp honors her novels like The Left Hand of Darkness and A Wizard of Earthsea? Time is up. Ursula K. Le Guin. Question 26. Block and belt are types of what large device often used by a carpenter to remove the rough places from a piece of wood? Nate Spencer, Towanda.
Sander.
Sander is correct. Score is 70-10, Towanda in the lead. Question number 27. The clarinet glissando that begins with, starting over, the clarinet glissando that begins this piece, Bella Young, Spencer Van Etten.
Rhapsody in Blue.
Knows more about what I'm talking about than I do. Two answers needed. Discovered in 1877, they are named for the twin sons of Ares and Aphrodite, who personified fear and dread. Nate Spencer, Towanda.
Phanos and Deimos.
Repeat that, please.
Phanos and Deimos.
That is incorrect. For the benefit of Spencer Van Etten, two answers needed. Discovered in 1877, they are named for the twin sons of Ares and Aphrodite, who personified fear and dread in Greek myth. Name these two moons of the planet Mars. Time is up. Phobos and Deimos. Question 29. The score is 60-30. Towanda's in the lead over Spencer. It was his mother's native England that gave this man his nickname, not his father's native Portugal. In the early 1400s, he sent explorers to the Cape Verde Islands. Name this Portuguese nobleman involved in the slave trade whose nickname comes from his support of other explorers. Time is up. Prince Henry the Navigator. Seated statues of this god, said to have originated yoga, feature two. Let me start that from the beginning, I'm sorry. Seated statues of this god, said to have originated yoga feature two hands in his lap, a trident in the other hand, and a small drum in his fourth hand. The statues include a crescent moon on the side of his head and a snake around his neck. Name this Hindu god, often called the Destroyer. Out of time, and Shiva is the answer we were looking for. That's the final question here today. Congratulations to the Towanda Black Knights, winners of the Kwasniewski Cup, $3,000 for their school district, and the Spencer Van Etten Panthers, congratulations to them as well, our second place winners for the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge. They'll take home $1,500 today from Scholarship Challenge. We're going to take a quick break and come back with some comments and some presentations here. It's the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge.
Stage.
There's a whole lot of people up on stage right now, and it starts to get a little sketchy with my memory as to all the things and events that have transpired over the last couple of hours here on the radio. If I could get someone to hand me that wireless mic up here, we're going to need a little bit more than what we've got on stage here. So we want to recap for you just a little bit. When we got here this morning, we were joined by Towanda, Elmira, Wyalusing, and Spencer Van Etten, the respective winners of the first 4 qualifiers. We put them all up against one another, starting with Towanda and Elmira. Towanda defeated Elmira. Then we brought Wyalusing and Spencer Van Etten up on stage, and Spencer Van Etten defeated Wyalusing. Then we put Towanda up against Spencer Van Etten, and Towanda came out on top with a score of 60-30. At Scholarship Challenge, we have a lot of patrons and a lot of sponsors who all donate towards this cause here today. And this year, we raised a prize purse of $7,000 from local people and local businesses, which is a wonderful thing. Every penny of that $7,000 goes back out to the top 8 school districts who win prizes through this Scholarship Challenge contest. 5th through 8th place prizes already awarded before today were $350 apiece, and if I am doing my math correctly, that went to Tioga Central, Canton, Newark Valley, and Wellsboro. Those were our winners from 5th through 8th place. Coming in at 4th place today is Elmira. So what I'd like to do is take this opportunity with that wireless mic to speak with Mr. Wilson, who's filling in for Mr. M, Mr. Peter Manuel Pillay, who could not be with us here today as the team advisor for the Elmira Express. Mr. Wilson stepping up at the last moment here to advise for a pretty great team. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah, these young men are very intelligent and very cool under pressure, I would say. I'm so impressed with what they've done today, and I'm just happy to be here with them.
4 great young gentlemen who have been a lot of fun to have up here on stage. We develop a very nice rapport throughout the course of Scholarship Challenge. We laugh and joke with one another during the breaks and sometimes while we're on the air, and we've had an awful lot of fun. Any final parting thoughts here as we start to wrap up Scholarship Challenge for the year, guys? Did you have a good time, even though we completely stressed you out?
Yeah.
It can be stressful, but it is also fun, and we do enjoy that. So 4th place prize today for the Elmira Express. We send them home today with the 4th place prize of $500. Thank you guys for participating. To 3rd place we go now for Wyalusing. The Wyalusing Rams, who gave quite a few teams a run for their money this year. Advisor Nick Marbaker, want to chat a little bit about your team and how you guys did this year.
I just have to say I'm really proud of this team, especially just being a group of all 11th graders, which is really special for me because I have quite a few of them as students this year. I'm just glad to be here, and I'm really proud of how they did this year.
And how many of you will we see back here up on stage again next year? All 4.
All of them.
Yes. Can't be that bad. Well, congratulations then. 3rd place at Wyalusing this year. That's a check for $500 for your school district. We head back across the state line to Spencer Van Etten, just up 34, where we check in with the school advisor for the Scholarship Challenge team, Mr. Andy McGee. Tell us a bit about how your 2nd place team in Scholarship Challenge did this year.
They did great. I'm really proud of these guys. So you guys as juniors, last year we competed, these 4 as juniors, and we lost our first match. So to get this far, I'm really proud of them. They did great. They made fun of me last week because I said it was a lot of fun, about 5 times, but it was a lot of fun, and they're a great group of kids.
It's absolutely a lot of fun, even being up here on stage. I think they might be having more fun, Bella, out there than we do up here. It's a little more stressful up here when you have to answer all the questions. But you guys did a wonderful job. It was so nice getting to know all of you. And I guess, so now you're all seniors, yeah? So now we send you off out into the world to do your thing, and you now become Scholarship Challenge alumni here. So welcome to that family, and thank you for joining us here today and participating. proud to send Spencer Van Etten home today with a $1,500 cash prize from our patrons and sponsors at Scholarship Challenge number 42. Towanda, it's been a little while. None of you were born yet, as we previously determined. 1984, 1988, 1991, since Towanda were the champions of Scholarship Challenge on this 42-year-long running program. Grady Templeton, Dejan Idigoyen, Nate Spencer, Ryan O'Connor. We've spent a lot of time together up here on stage. Their advisor, Peter Henty, joins us up on stage here as well. I told you it's warmer up here, isn't it?
Yeah, under the lights.
A little bit warmer, yeah. These guys do well under pressure and under the heat lamps. Tell us your thoughts on the Towanda Black Knights Scholarship Challenge team this year.
My thoughts are that it's been a complete privilege to be able to work with these students this year, and I'm very proud of them and the way that they embody Black Knight pride and spirit that we have in our school, and the way that they've come together as a team, a mixture of seniors and juniors in my group here. And seeing them having fun and having fun here today at the competition has been totally worth it. And thank you very much for sponsoring this competition.
Thank you for attending it and being part of it. It's awesome, yes. One of the most difficult jobs, Tina didn't realize that this was one of the most difficult jobs, is holding the Kwasnowski Cup for so long. It's very heavy, isn't it? It's very, very heavy.
So.
Yeah, some thoughts here. I'll hold it for you for a second if you'd like to speak. How about that? Don't drop it, Dave.
I would just want to say what an honor it is today to be able to present the Kwasnowski Cup. I've been here year after year, and I have always seen the Kwasnowskis here. I know what this means to them and their family, and honoring their son Daniel, and they always take a joy in seeing which team is going to be able to take the cup for the year, as he said, for bragging rights. So enjoy it, be proud of it, bring it back. Maybe you'll get it again. Thank you.
So,
there you go. Come on,
Grady, as the team captain, we'll put you guys up on your feet here, and you can accept this beautiful trophy. And we'll have you all stay on stage as we're going to do pictures after we end the broadcast here in just a moment. But here's one quick one for you. Before we wrap up, I'm going to have you guys pull up your microphones again here real quick. I'm going to ask Grady Templeton, what do you think, champion?
I mean, if we ever felt nervous, I mean, we went into 10 overtimes 2 weeks ago, so I don't know how we could ever get nervous.
You made me nervous. Yeah, absolutely. Dejan Idigoyen, what are your thoughts on Scholarship Challenge?
I don't think I did much for the team, but I'm proud of everyone else.
I don't think that's true. I think you all did a wonderful job. Nate Spencer, your thoughts on Scholarship Challenge?
Well, as I've been told, it's been a while since Towanda has won, and all I've got to say is it's good to be back.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Ryan O'Connor, your thoughts?
I didn't contribute much this year, but I'm happy we came out together.
I think we all contribute more than we realize at the end of the day. Together, you're a team. So congratulations to the Towanda Black Knights, the Spencer Van Etten Panthers, as well as the Wyalusing Rams, and who am I missing? Elmira Express. 4 wonderful teams, 4 wonderful school districts, just 4 out of 20 fantastic school districts that comprise Scholarship Challenge this year for year number 42. A couple of thank yous to do before we end the broadcast, and again, I appreciate you all staying up here on stage so we could do some historic photographs after the broadcast concludes. We want to say thank you to everyone who has joined us here today. Our main sponsors, FCCB, Williams Toyota of Sayre. Special thanks to Elaine Poost from the Bradford County Regional Arts Council and her team for allowing us to take the main stage here at the Sayre Theater for 3 very busy Saturdays in March. And also opening up the concessions. Thanks to our sponsors, Guthrie Community Credit Union, the Guthrie Clinic, Elmira College, CNN Bank, IRFCU, Elderwood, Landy and Rossetti, the Tioga ASAP Coalition, Leprino Foods, Valley Energy, Dandy Mini Marts, Jeff Paul Plumbing and Heating, Tioga State Bank. For the 2022 Scholarship Challenge sponsors, this would not have been possible without your generosity. A heartfelt thank you to our staff at Radigan Media that have made countless hours, put together countless hours making sure that we were able to put this event on through the pandemic, the tail end of it, hopefully, while also buying more radio stations. Our station manager, Sherry Iyer, who has made sure to keep us on track as much as is possible, and our entire production crew here today, volunteers that spent their Saturdays with us helping to keep the challenge fair. That does it for us, for me, for my wife Irene. I'm Dave Radigan. Thank you for participating, playing along, either here up on stage, in the theater, or listening to us on your radio. It's the 42nd Annual Scholarship Challenge. We'll see you next year for number 43. Thank you.